I'm here with Danielle Harris, Kaj-Erik Eriksen, talking about See No Evil 2. This is a great setup. How is Comic-Con going for you guys so far?
Good. I got here at like 6 this morning. So just getting started, yeah.
Good, yeah. I got in last night, and I've had a bit of time to venture around and have some fun. So
awesome.
Good, yeah.
So talking about the film, were you guys fans of the first one? Did you know anything about it before you got into the sequel?
I had seen the first one when it came out, but it had been so many years that I had to sort of go back and revisit it. And then I rewatched after I met with the Saska twins and was like, oh God, Kane's a big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me excited for I hadn't gotten the script yet, so it made me excited to sort of see what he was going to be up to in the sequel.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the first one up until I booked the job, and then of course I wanted to see what it was all about, and I should have seen the first one because I have a friend in it, so I'm a bad friend.
Oh.
But yeah, it was interesting to see how it sets the tone, sets the pace.
Yeah, what is working with Kane like? I mean, obviously you see him work in wrestling and on screen. He's a huge, hulking, intimidating guy, but what is working with him like?
Like working with a huge, hulking, intimidating guy.
Makes sense.
Yeah, he is pretty difficult.
So talk a little bit about your characters. I mean, what's the setup for your characters in the film, and how does Kane get involved, or Jacob get involved?
Yeah, I play Amy, and I work at the morgue. And I'm there on my birthday and trying to leave early, and I don't quite get out to make it to my party because it comes actually this movie starts right at the where the last one left off. So we've just found on the news that all the bodies are coming into the morgue, and we're going to have to process them. So we get stuck doing that, and with the victims comes the killer.
Naturally.
Yeah.
I feel bad
You
that
can
you
hold that.
you keep holding it for me. I play Seth, who works at the morgue with Amy. And yeah, the movie sort of just picks up with these bodies coming in, and we're getting prepped for a whole lot of carnage coming into our little morgue. And once the bodies are there, the chaos ensues with Kane.
Nice. Yeah. And is there a particular sequence in the film that you think like stands out or was like really fun to shoot?
I mean, it's such a quick ride that it's like, I mean, it's a roller coaster. Once we get going, so it sort of feels like an action movie. There's definitely no stopping once Jacob is alive and has his first kill. It's like game on.
Right.
So it's fun. It's a little bit. Some of the kills are a little bit different than the usual. You don't expect it. You're like, oh, that guy's going. Oh, she's going, and then they don't until later, or they don't at all. So they kind of try to twist it up a little bit. But it just moves really quick, so it's fun. It kind of captures you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the kills are exciting too, because in the first one they're all similar. I mean, it's like the eyeball thing,
Right.
But in ours, everyone gets a very specific. I mean, they're quite different and exciting. That was some of the fun stuff to shoot, but also the more emotional stuff to shoot, because I mean, we liked everyone on the show, and so you're watching these people kind of
Bye-bye.
yeah, and a lot of I'm going.
Yeah,
we were talking about
dirt. There's some dirt here.
Oh man, I'm out. Yeah, and I mean, it can be exhausting though, watching people die and you're running and screaming, but it's fun.
I was having to cry.
Really?
And scream and run and all. I'm a girl, so that's the way they write women.
But you're a pro at that. At this point.
It gets a little harder,
Yeah.
But it's like you're still watching someone that you like and putting yourself in that situation and imagining that it's really your friend that's laying on the floor covered in blood or whatever it may be, or. So it's put you through the ringer. I'd have to come home and have a little bourbon and a little something to take the edge off and go to sleep to get up and do it all over again.
Do you still have the same fondness for the horror films as you did when you first started out? I mean, you started doing these so young.
Yeah.
I mean, is it still as exciting and fun as it used to be?
Well, it depends, on the role. If I play the same thing over and over again, then it gets a bit much for me, which is why I don't really do that much anymore. Even if I am like the final girl, sort of, or the scream queen, whatever, they're all vary a little bit as far as like personality and character stuff. I love horror movies when they're good, and I even like the crappy ones. But it's hard now as a filmmaker, even though I always acted in them. Now that I make them as well, it's a little bit harder to watch them because I'm picking every single thing apart, every shot, or every out of focus bump, or I'm picking up the score. Like there's just a lot of all the different layers of the elements of making a movie. But I really like it. I mean, I still, this, like, the soundtrack, the score in this movie is awesome. It was one of the first things that I noticed. And the lighting, like, it looks beautiful, it sounds rad. I was like, oh my God, this is killer. So it was a very reminiscent of like an 80s vibe, sort of Terminator-y feel to it, which is a little bit different than your typical, big orchestral sort of, I don't know, is that a word?
It is
orchestral? Orchestral? I don't know. I'm an actress. I think Kane's the English major. Like, go ask him if I just made that word up. But they're still fun. They're fast and furious, and they're really hard.
Yeah.
You know, nobody gives us the credit for that kind of stuff. Like, it's really, people are like, I want to die. It'd be so much fun to die. And then you do it and you're like, oh, hell no. This sucks. This is awful.